What's going on, ghosties? Welcome back to Tales of Spooky Coffee House. If you're new here, welcome to our show. We are your hosts. I'm Chelsea,
No, I'm Veronica.
and it's time for our much needed coffee break. Veronica,
Yes,
how are
ma'am.
you?
Hi as a Kai. I'm drinking my pineapple Fanta. Have you ever tried them?
Not the pineapple one.
Oh my gosh. I went to my brother's house like this past week and he lives right around the corner from a liquor store. Love it.
Hmm.
And so we went because we needed munchies and stuff. And I don't know, it just caught my eye for some reason and I got it and it just hit the spot so much that I bought a whole 12 pack of them. They were so good. Anyways, how are you?
I'm good. I have some exciting news.
Ooh, do tell. I'm so excited.
So, do you remember the episode where I talked about the Ohio State Reformatory?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's spooky season,
Yes,
and
it is.
I have to go to haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made a new coworker friend, another one from the previous new one. And
Oh, so not the one you're replacing me with?
I'm not replacing you, okay?
Yes,
I
you
just
are.
need friends that are here, okay? It's expensive to go visit you.
It still hurts, Chelsea.
It
None of
hurts
what you
me
just said
too.
made me
Hurts
feel
me
better.
too. Anyways, her and I were talking about how neither of us had any spooky friends to go do this stuff with, and we were like, "Hey, perfect. We could just buddy up." So, anyways, we're gonna go to the Ohio State Reformatory because spooky season, they have their Blood Fest, or it's called Blood Prison Attraction, which is basically like a haunted house. So, super excited! I'm gonna drive 3 hours for a haunted house at one of the most haunted prisons in the country.
Sure, I'm excited for you. Really, really, I am. I don't know what's bothering me most, that you're going with the person you're replacing me with, or that you're gonna do something spooky, like with someone else.
You do
But I'm
spooky
so
stuff without
excited
me
for
all
you.
the time.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And actually, didn't you, Stephanie Z, and Taylor just go on a haunted thing like a couple of weeks
So
ago?
excited. So you're gonna go on
Uh
your
huh.
on your trip with your coworker friend. That's nice.
Yeah,
Are
and
you
it's
so where are
gonna.
you staying? Is it
We're not.
overnight or
So it's gonna be super fun. I'm gonna be up for work because we work together. Then we're going to pick up my niece and go straight to Ohio, which is a 3 hour drive to that part of Ohio because technically Ohio is like an hour away. Anyways, we're going straight there. We're gonna have dinner. We're gonna go through our haunted house, which is supposed to be like 15 minutes to half an hour or something like that. And then we're gonna drive 3 hours back and go to work the next morning. So
well at least you guys will
much fun.
be in torture well wait what? At least you guys will be like on the same vibe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sad thing is, so I don't have to work that morning. I have a soccer game, but so we tried to get on the same weekends. She tried to get on my weekends off because I get every other weekend, and they were like, "Oh, like that weekend is full. We need more people." And they were like, "Is there any like specific reason why we should put you on B? Because if there's kids involved, like they work with us and they're really good about that." And she's like, "No, Chelsea and I are just trying to go to a bunch of spooky haunted houses, so we need the same weekend." And they just like stared at her like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" And so that was a fun experience today.
Yeah, it's you get so comfortable and so lost in our world that when you
Uh,
bring it up to someone else that's
you
like not
forget.
usually in our, yeah, you forget how it's kind of strange. Yeah.
Yeah, because my other new coworker friend, the first one that you think I'm replacing you with, that I'm not, she is on the same weekend as me. So we were like, all three of us together would like make so much fun to go on road trips and stuff. So, but anyway, so I'm going
So
to the Ohio State
excited for
Reformatory
you.
on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm super
Add a
excited.
little,
Spice to my
yeah, there you
Friday the 13th.
go. Yeah, the cherry on top.
Right.
Have you seen, I think I sent it to you, but I don't know if you've seen them. Had those TikToks where they talk about Orion's belt and how that's where the aliens live? How that's what,
No.
no, I'm pretty sure that's
Do you forget?
nothing makes
I
sense.
was like, did you forget what you were saying?
to know.
I was like, I know what you're trying to say, but it's not coming out the way you think it sounds.
In my brain, it's completely different than what's actually coming out. Oh my gosh.
Try again.
Yes. So, wait, with the whole thing, I could do it. Wait, I don't know what you
Okay,
mean.
TikTok's Orion's belt, that's where aliens live. Why?
Because someone on TikTok said so. And so, my source. But like, so this guy was talking about it or whatever, and how the the evil aliens, the bad ones, come from the middle one. So you know Orion's belt, it's like three dots, and like the first and the last one are parallel to each other, and the middle one's kind of just like out a little bit. So that middle one is where like the bad aliens live, and supposedly they're really smelly. I don't know how people would know that. Interesting. And did you know that the pyramids in Giza line up with those with Orion's belt?
Yeah, that part I knew. Like,
So,
I didn't hear that aliens like lived in the Orion's belt. I just thought it was like
mhm.
they helped align all of our like the pyramids and a couple other things too.
Yeah, yeah. So they were saying that the aliens were the ones that taught mathematics to our ancestors and astronomy. But I do think it's like I believe the whole those being like where the aliens live, because maybe like the pyramids, it's kind of like a little tip of the hat to home sweet home, you know?
Uh-huh.
But anyways, I thought that'd be interesting to talk about and bring up.
We should just talk about
Um,
aliens in an episode. Like nothing but
we should.
aliens.
We should. But I do get scared at night. I'm realizing that aliens scare me.
Really?
Not ghosts, not clowns, aliens.
Aliens. Huh. I mean, they scare me when I'm really fucking high or if I
Well, I
scare
mean,
me
I'm
not.
really fucking high right now, and we're talking about aliens, and I'm feeling scared.
Touche.
So,
Touche.
anyways, we're gonna move on
Yeah,
from
we're
aliens
recording.
for now. So, I went to Horror Nights, Universal Studios, Hollywood Horror Nights this past Friday with my BFFFFF, the one and only my niece Jasmine.
Oh,
And
what am I? Chop liver?
yes. Um
Damn.
so if you haven't already, I mean the TikToks are out there. There's plenty of them. They're saying that Universal Studios oversold tickets for Horror Nights this year, and so then it's been super crowded, like to the point where so there's the general admission and then there's the RIP, which is VIP.
Uh-huh.
So obviously they go in quicker, faster, whatever. It's gotten to the point where they close the lines completely to general admission and only to like the RIP people. So they're literally closing these like very popular mazes down. The wait times are crazy. They go up to 180 minutes.
Jeez.
But so my niece and I, we went with a plan. We're like, okay, let's pick like our top two favorite mazes. We'll just fucking wait in line for them, and then we'll just mess around, like walk around and like get spooked or whatever, buy a freaking donut, you know, the
Uh-huh.
Simpsons donut. And so we ended up getting in line for Stranger Things. Like that was the one that we really wanted to go to. And we were gonna see The Last of Us, but because that's like super popular, I knew that I probably wasn't gonna get the chance to go to that one.
Uh-huh.
But we went to Stranger Things, and then my niece was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna see how much it is to get the RIP, like the upgrade. And I was dying of thirst, y'all. I was like, you go do that. I'm gonna go buy me something to drink. So, you know, she goes, when she comes back, she was like, they're sold out. Damn it. So then, and time was in our favor this day, and you'll see why. So we went to go check Stranger Things. It was closed off to general. They were only taking RIP. So we are like, great. And they were like, come back in 15 minutes. So we start walking away, and the Transformers ride is right there, right? So we go on Transformers. Literally, you just walk through like the maze they have inside for people when they're in line. You literally walk straight through that to the actual ride. So it was very quick. And then after that, we went to Jurassic Park or World, whatever it's called. We came back to Stranger Things. Wait time was probably an hour, which was not bad because it was already at like 90 plus minutes before.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the only maze we did. We did another maze, but I already forgot what it was, so it wasn't that important. And then we enjoyed a couple of like dance routines and shows, and we didn't have to wait that long for it because we got there just on time, or I don't know, like time was with us that day. Like it
Hmm.
was great. And I got my donut. And I surprised my mom with it. My mom's never seen that big of a donut before.
That's
You've
funny.
seen those, right?
Yeah.
At Universal? Oh, okay. For those of you who don't know, Ghosties, Universal sells like bigger than your head type donuts from The Simpsons. So I bought my first one. It was bomb.
It's like it's
It's
exciting, but
tiring
not
talking,
like
man.
it sucks that they oversold tickets.
Yeah, it does. It does because I remember when the last time I went was like 2, 3 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And we were able to do most of the mazes, the popular ones, no problem. And Friday, we literally could only do one main maze and one like smaller maze.
Uh-huh.
So, but we still had fun. We went on rides, you know what I mean? We walked around.
Hmm.
But yeah, they need to fix that for next year. But moving forward, did you want to get us started with the true crime topic of the week?
Yeah, so we're going to talk the Kelly family. So, William Kelly and his family moved from Pennsylvania Mountain, Kansas in 1860. They moved around a lot of places border until they finally settled in what was considered no man's land in Oklahoma. Now, they started dealing with cattle, and then they soon opened up a tavern where they housed a few of the cattlers around them and travelers passing through. So, this family consisted of four members: the husband, William, like I said, his wife, Kate, his son, Bill, or some people called him Billy, and his daughter, Kit. Now, right after the Kelly family moved, in the span of a few months, there was so many people that started to mysteriously disappear on the same road that the Kelly Tavern was located. Even though this was like a coincidence, like that's what they considered, they didn't suspect the family of doing anything because they
Mm-hmm.
were always friendly and said hello to everybody.
It's
They
the nice
were
ones you gotta watch out for.
right, right. They were regarded as like an ordinary working family with no meanness to them. So, December of 1887, about 8 years after they moved there, they suddenly left without telling anybody. And a traveler who was passing through stopped by to check on the house to make sure that they were okay. And when he entered, he found a hidden cellar underneath the house where he found three dead bodies. When he found them, obviously he went and notified the cops, and they went over to search the rest of the house. And in addition to those three bodies, when they dug up the ground in the cellar, they found an additional seven bodies. With these bodies, the only three that they were able to identify were J.T. Taylor, who was a wealthy salesman from Chicago, Jim Coven, a cattleman whose business covered the area, who covered around that area next to them, next to the Kelly family,
Mm-hmm.
and a Texas merchant named Johnson. So these were the only three that they were able to identify, and that was because of their clothes. They basically like had like stuff in their clothes that identified them. With the bodies, they also found an old rusty axe with human flesh on its blade, which was
Ugh.
presumed to be the murder weapon. Yeah. After the discoveries, they began a manhunt looking for the family, and then they finally got information that came saying that they spotted the Kelly family on their way to New Mexico. They pulled together a group of 20 men to hunt them down, and within a couple of hours they caught up with them. During this chase, Kate Kelly, the wife, her horse tripped and she fell to the ground, breaking her neck in the process. So
Ooh.
she was dead before they even caught up. Obviously, the family left her behind, and a half an hour later, they caught up to Billy and Kit, and the father, William, got away. Upon trapping Bill and Kit, Kit began pleading immediately for mercy, and that pissed off her brother, who I feel like this is kind of childish, but immediately started to tell the police or the group of men that she was just as complicit as he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just found that funny, like that brother sister arguing in the middle of being captured,
Yeah.
right?
That's a nice little like movie scene. Like you could easily, yeah.
So the brother and sister pair were hung on a nearby tree. One of their last exchanges of words was Kit asking if she should tell them everything, and for him to curse at the group of men and told them to find out for themselves. So both of them, they were left to hang. After they killed them, they went after William, the father. Eventually, they did catch up to him, fired a couple of rounds, and he surrendered. They
Mm-hmm.
continued to do the same thing where they hung him, but then they let him go. I think they hung him twice before he finally admitted to taking part in the killings and wanting to move to Texas because the crime rates were higher and less likely for them to get caught.
That's crazy.
Now, their method of killing was they would first find out if the traveler was wealthy. If it was confirmed, William or Billy would engage them in conversation, sometimes Kit if she needed to flirt, while Kate prepared the dinner meal. During dinner, when the traveler was distracted, they would open up the trap door, which would drop the chair with the victim, and they would either die on the fall, like from breaking their neck, or they would take the axe that they found and dispose of them that way. And then they like it would open and they would either die from the fall or they would get rid of them with an
Uh-huh.
axe.
Keep going.
So, family of four, wife and husband, two kids, son and daughter, getting rid of their victims with an axe. Does any of this sound familiar to you?
Yeah. Keep going.
Okay, so we talked about the Bender family a while back, and there is a theory that the Kelly family is actually the Bender family because remember the Benders were never caught, they just completely disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a man from Kansas City who was unnamed, who was a reporter who investigated the Bender family, and he claimed that the Kellys were in fact the Benders because they matched the description, um, like their facial descriptions and stuff. The children were the same age as the Bender kids, similar names. But besides like those major things, he did say that like there was a couple other things of evidence that prove that they were the same family, just in different areas.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that would be interesting to kind of like talk about how there were two serial killer families and how they could actually have been just the one.
Yeah. It's just crazy that they got away with it for so long because they put such a good
Uh-huh.
front up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Do you want to get us started on the paranormal topic of the week?
Yes. So, my paranormal topic of the week, I'm going to be talking about the haunted set of The Exorcist. I'm really excited because I've seen a few TikToks of how it was haunted and what happened, and just it's so interesting. And I thought, well, the movie's going to be coming out soon, the new one, so kind of fits, time
Mm-hmm.
fits. So, I'm going to be telling you guys about 6 creepy things that happened on the movie set. I'm going to be reading off of the article from puzzleboxhorror.com if you guys want to go check it out. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the original home for the McNeil home was destroyed by a fire. The interior sets for filming were built in New York City. However, the exterior shots and the McNeil home was to be filmed on location in Washington, D.C. The entire set for the McNeil home caught fire and burned to the ground, which just delayed filming for 6 additional weeks. That's number one, and I think we're starting off strong.
Right, right.
Ellie Burstyn, who plays Chris McNeil, sustains permanent spinal injury. So
I
in
did
that
hear
famous
about that
scene,
one.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like when it actually involves like harm, like physical harm, that's when it's
Mm-hmm.
like, whoa. So in that famous scene where Reagan McNeil is mutilating herself with a crucifix, actress Ellen Burstyn, Chris McNeil, rushes to the bed to stop her daughter. The demon then shoves Chris McNeil across the room in one violent motion, and her scream is blood curdling and painful. That chilling scream that many of us will never forget was actually authentic. The
Uh-huh.
stuntman had a wire rigged to the actress to pull her backwards and abruptly for the filming of the scene. Unfortunately, the mechanics were rigged with full source, and her painful scream was a result of a permanent and painful spinal injury that she sustained during filming. So that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. That almost
Number,
reminds me
mm-hmm,
of how Colin O'Donnell, I think is what his name is, the guy that played Captain Hook on Once Upon a Time,
mm-hmm,
and the musical episode during filming you like can see it if you slow down the shot, but he jumps on the wooden chair and like knocks it over and lands. Well, he broke his foot right there.
Oof.
Yeah, and he kept fucking singing it, and I was like actually like slowing down the episode and like looking at his eyes, and he's like trying so hard not to cry, and I'm like that actually like he broke his foot until they stopped filming, but it reminded me of that.
That's crazy. I never heard about that.
Yeah, that's kind of why they try to keep actors from not doing their own stunts because like shit like that happens. Which I mean, like having something that's supposed to take you like that far back, like it shouldn't harm you, but like accidents happen. So that's just like Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double in the Harry Potter movies got injured and he was paralyzed for the rest of his life.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
That's sad. Why are you
yeah, he
making me
visits him
sad?
all the time and stuff. Like they're really good friends.
I'm sad.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Like whenever you
I
watch
don't want to. I'm
fucking
sad.
No, like when you watch a movie and people are like doing stunts and shit, like they risk their lives for that shot.
So number three, abusive directing methods used by William Friedkin. So the director would actually slap people, scream at them, make them cry, and also get this, fire guns beside their faces to create shock or trauma before filming critical scenes.
What the fuck?
Bro,
That's legal? I feel
wow,
like
I
that's
guess.
I mean, like that's like pushing like that's like crossing a line because they did that in did you ever watch The Strangers?
The
Yeah,
Strangers?
I think it's called The Strangers. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it's a break-in horror movie.
Uh-huh.
And this couple, they're home, and these people, like these strangers, come and they break into their house and they attack them, and they play with them, like they taunt them and everything. And one of the quotes is like, she asked like, "Why are you doing this to us?" And they just answered like, "Oh, because you were home." And it's based on a true story. But anyways, the actress, they would scare the shit out of her, and so most of the screams in the movie that come from her are real because she never got to see like the masks that they were wearing before they started filming. And then
Mm-hmm.
like the director would be like, "Oh, okay, like we're gonna set off this sound effect." And then they were like she was told like in a completely different area from where it was actually coming from. So when it went off, it scared the shit out of her, and they would capture her reaction, and that's the
Mm.
reactions that they used during filming.
Interesting.
It was like they were terrorizing her. But like shooting guns off in people's faces is like crossing a line for me.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, most definitely. Number four, inanimate objects moved on set. So several members of the crew witnessing inanimate objects move on the set before their eyes. Writer and producer William Blatty reported that the telephone that was used to communicate between the set and the production office would rise off the hook and then crash to the floor. That'd be fun to see.
I mean, not if you're filming a horror movie. Like that's kind of I'd kind of be like, something's not right here.
Number five, nine deaths from crew and actors associated with the film. So, during the production of The Exorcist, Jack McGoran, an Irish actor, portrayed the role of Brooke Dennings, Chris McNeil's manager, possible romantic interest. It was Brooke Dennings that connected Chris McNeil to Father Karras, as they both worked at Georgetown University. Brooke Dennings is the first victim of possessed child Reagan McNeil. His neck is snapped as his head is turned 360 and his body tumbles down the steep flight of stairs after being thrown out the window by a mysterious force. Actor Jack McGoran, oh my god, it's so hard, contracted pneumonia on set. When the movie was shot, the bedroom of character Reagan McNeil was refrigerated to freezer proportions. In fact, the crew was required to wear parkas. This helped create the paranormal cold effect and vapor clouds when actors were talking before CGI. The actor died just after his scenes wrapped up, but before the full production was complete. 8 other members of the production and their close family members died during or shortly after they released the film.
I feel like there's a
Last
lot
but
of red
not,
flags going on.
I know. I wonder how filming for this new Exorcist went. Like I'm really curious, and I wonder if they were scared knowing that these things have happened.
Right.
Lastly but not least, lightning strikes ancient crucifix in Rome screening. During the storm, a 400-year-old cross was struck by lightning and fell to the ground in the middle of the piazza or square just outside the movie theater. How is that for a clear message from the superpowers that be?
Red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag.
Maybe they didn't like the fact that The Exorcist was released the day after Christmas,
Oh, was it really?
intentionally to spark international religious furor. Yeah, it was.
That's fucked.
I love it. That's just
I mean, and they tried so
beautiful.
hard, like, because the original came out the day after Christmas. They tried to release this new one on Friday the 13th. Thank Taylor Swift for that not happening.
Mm,
I feel like, I don't know, like that would have been interesting to see, like, if it actually was released on that day, what would have happened.
right?
So, moving on, Veronica, we were talking about black cats earlier, and you want to hear
Mm,
something funny?
please do tell.
So, a city here in my state in Indiana in 1939, they made it illegal for black cats to not wear bells on Friday the 13th.
Wait, what? Why? So people could avoid them like running across?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I just thought that was funny. I have some other
Yeah.
like weird, funny laws. You want to hear them?
Yes.
Have you ever whispered in church?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in Delaware, that's illegal.
Shut up.
You can get fined up to
Shut
like 100
up.
bucks.
What?
Like you can't sneeze or cough or anything. Like that's
Delaware
technically
as in the
illegal.
state? Wait, Alabama, Alaska,
Yeah.
Arizona, Dakota, California, Connecticut. I have to see my states in order to know if it's a state or not.
It just
What?
so is New York a state? Like
Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say
Duh.
you're gonna sing the whole fucking song
Fuck
basically.
no, dude. By the time I get to the ends,
I know, I could never remember the ends.
it gets a little tricky. That's why. It's just like, it's weird.
Um,
Interesting.
in Florida, you can't wear masks or hoodies or like hoods covering your face.
You know what? I want to say because it's Florida, I'm not surprised, but I'm a little bit surprised because that's a weird one, you know?
Yeah, like the fact that they have that, they had to adapt it so that way it says except for like during emergencies or public health.
Interesting.
Because of COVID, but you know how the South likes their fried chicken?
Yeah.
Okay, well, in Georgia, you cannot eat it with a knife and a fork.
Who eats chicken? First of all, fried chicken with a knife and a fork. To be a
Rich
law
white people.
everywhere. The fuck? Nah, you pick that bitch up and yarn.
Do you curse a lot in public?
No, I think I'm pretty good at not cursing in public.
Then you would be able to survive in the state of Maryland, where it is illegal to swear in public, with it being a misdemeanor and a fee of $100.
Shut up.
I would not
Shut
survive.
up.
Would not
I
survive.
mean,
You
no, I
couldn't, like, I
wouldn't
think
because
shut
there's
up is
some.
considered a swear word, isn't it?
What is?
Shut up. You couldn't even say
I
that.
don't think so.
I
If
think
it
some
is,
people,
then
I think some
damn,
people
I don't want to
say.
go there.
This next one, it makes me laugh because all I can think of is like drunk old people in nursing homes. But
Uh-huh.
in North Carolina, drunk bingo is banned.
Ah, not the drunk bingo. That's just inhumane.
Speaking of inhumane, it's legal to marry a dead person in France since the 19th century.
What the?
And we're in the 21st century, so fun fact.
You know what? I recently saw a TikTok where this guy was carrying around a corpse from like decades ago in his backpack, and he was like, "That's my girlfriend." And I'm just like, people are crazy.
But I guess they had that law to prevent bastard child, so to legitimize children,
Mhm.
which is the main reason why it's legal to marry a dead person, which is still weird. But speaking of France, I'm not even going to try and pronounce the city name. They made it illegal to land a flying saucer.
And so, okay, um, So like, do the aliens know that, or
I mean, I hope so, but it's been intact since 1954, so maybe they do at this point. I mean, I hope
dude,
so.
what? I mean, it kind of makes more sense to have that law today, just with everything going on.
But in
But like,
1954,
yeah, that's so funny.
you know how it was illegal to be a witch in like the 1600s?
Hmm.
Okay, well, the Witchcraft Act of 1736, so like 100 or so years later, they made it okay to be a witch, but it was illegal to pretend to be one and could land you like a year in prison.
What? Dude, my brain's hurting right now. I'm just trying to process these laws, and I'm just like, what?
You ready for
How
another
would they
one?
know if you're pretending, though? Yeah, go ahead.
In 1542, a law passed in Scotland that made it legal to punish a corpse for treason. To punish a corpse for treason.
So,
All right.
like,
Do I need to repeat it?
no, I have so many questions. Like, okay, so I don't know. I don't, Chelsea, it hurts. My brain hurts.
I got another funny one.
Okay.
Have you ever been around somebody that dances with a sombrero?
Yeah, I'm Mexican.
Yeah, I know. Well, in New Mexico, you can't. It's illegal.
To to
To
to
dance
dance in a
with a sombrero.
sombrero?
To dance with a sombrero, like wearing it. You can't wear it while dancing.
I
I'm speechless.
yes.
In South Carolina, males that are over 16 can't seduce someone under the promise of marriage.
Wait. What?
Yes, you heard that right. Male over 16, they cannot seduce somebody under the promise of marriage. So they can't like get them to sleep with them by telling them, "Oh, I'm going to marry you."
I mean, okay, see, like that one, like, okay, cool, because you don't
But
want
but
these
the
fake
fact that they
bitches.
had to like make that a law though.
That's kind of sad. Yeah.
So if you visit the Eiffel Tower, you can take photos during daylight hours, but it's
Hmm.
illegal to like sell any merchandise with a picture of the Eiffel Tower at night.
Yeah. I've heard about that one. That, I mean, like,
Because
I get
do you
it,
know
but I
why
don't
though?
get it, you know? No.
Because the light display of the tower is copyrighted.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lights are copyrighted.
Not lights, light display.
I am so sorry. Light display. My
It's the
apologies.
shape. It's the shape of the lights.
Interesting.
Anyways, if you wanted to break any laws in Ohio on Sundays and July 4th, they can't make arrests. So
What?
any Sunday you want to go commit a crime in Ohio, you can't be arrested.
On any Sunday.
Any Sunday and on 4th of July.
I'm gonna take my worst enemy to Ohio. We gonna have a great time.
July 4th weekend getaway.
I know.
You got 2 tries that
What
weekend.
happens in Ohio stays in Ohio.
Right? Fuck Vegas.
Vegas, you gotta get your shit together, man. Jeez.
Anyways, I just wanted to share some of those with you. I thought they were funny. But
Thanks. Now my brain's gonna hurt for the rest of the day. I'm gonna have all these questions, all these unanswered questions with me for the rest of my life.
I think oh, another one is, I don't know if you know this, but it's illegal to shower with clothes on in New York City.
Why?
I don't know. I think that's fucking
How
hilarious.
would they know?
Yeah.
How would they know? Are
Exactly.
you live streaming your showers? Oh my God. Anyways.
You ready for the tarot reading?
Yeah, please.
You're like, I'm fucking over your laws.
Fucking over it. I'm done.
So, Ghosties, with it being almost the end of season 2 and Veronica and I coming up.
Not gonna miss you.
What? No, Veronica and I are coming up on our friend anniversary of.
Our friend anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't want a friend anniversary with you. I want it to be done and
Oh,
over with.
oh
Oh,
well, you
oh
still
no, I'm
have
just
like 70
kidding.
years. You still have like 60, 70 years. We're gonna be
Also,
old
that's
bitches.
it. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. I don't want to be 90. Let me go at like
Like we would almost be
75.
100 at
I'm
that
good.
point.
Nah, I'm good at 75. I don't want to live that long. Shit.
Damn, so you only got 40 years left?
That's great. Anyways, moving on to the tarot card reading.
Dude, I just scared myself.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
so the tarot reading, to celebrate the end of the season, Veronica and I wanted to do a best friend tarot spread reading. So this is a 6 card reading. Card 1 represents our friendship energy. Card 2 is what makes our friendship so amazing. Card 3 is how we can make our friendship even better. Card 4 is what do our guides love about our friendship? I feel like we're gonna get so called out.
I'm so excited.
Card card 5 is something nice we can do together.
Something nice that we can
It's
do
on
for
how to
each
support
other.
each other. Not interrupt me for one.
Well, you broke out, that's why. So I just wanted to repeat it just in case.
Okay. And card 6 is advice from our guides on how to support each other. I don't know. I feel like we support each other pretty good, but
Eh,
what does that mean?
nothing. I'm just being a bitch.
Okay. So card 1 represents our friendship energy, and this comes through the world. So we have a very, very close relationship because this card represents that we are in tune with our consciousness and within perfect union with the universe. So I feel like that right there is like a strong point because this card also represents that you are in the right place during the right time. So I love
I
that
like
for us.
that. I love that. Oh my gosh.
See, our cards are nicer to us than we are to each other.
Yeah.
So, card 2 represents what makes our friendship so amazing, and this comes through the 8 of Cups. And this card represents walking away from situations and abandoning plans, but having the strength and courage to like get away from like negativity. And so it also represents kind of going like on a self-discovery journey and like searching for deeper truths. And so I really feel like this card is telling us that what makes our friendship so amazing is that we are that inner voice
Mhm.
telling us like we need to leave a situation or to remind us that we're strong and we can do what we need to do. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
getting those
because like I
vibes.
could definitely like understand this card like individually for both of us, but
Hmm.
since it's a friendship reading, I think we do our best to stay on the same page. If we're not happy with something, we move on from it. You know, we better ourselves or better the situation. You know, and we do it together and we support one another.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what I'm getting from it.
So card 3 is how we can make our friendship even better. And this comes through the Queen of Swords. So how we can make our friendship better is to just have clear boundaries and make sure that we are talking about everything and focusing on helping each other. But it also
Hmm.
represents somebody who is in your life when you're vulnerable and helps
Hmm.
to not just protect you but to help you move on. So I feel like this is going to be us soon.
Yeah, I feel like if we're not already like if we don't already trust each other enough, like it's pretty much telling us like, you know,
Depend
make your
on each
friendship
other.
stronger
Yeah.
by allowing yourself to be vulnerable with the other person and actually not testing the trust, but honoring it, you know, and trusting the trust. You know
I
what I
also
mean?
feel,
Like,
yeah, I also feel like it's telling us like because we are used to saying like, hey, I'm having a bad day, like let's record or let's
yeah,
like talk or something. But w- it's because we don't want to talk about what was bothering us. And so maybe it's
yeah.
like this is telling us that we need to talk about it.
That's just you trying to know my shit, man. You just want to know the tea.
I mean, I like tea, but
No, I get it. I get it. Because there are times where, like, if I am having a bad day, like, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to
hmm
acknowledge it. But that's kind of been, like, an issue of itself, like, recently because I
yeah.
avoid talking about it or going through my emotions, it kind of just bottles up and then it explodes, right in my
Hmm.
face. So,
Yeah.
um, all right, next time I cry, I'm calling you up.
Okay. So card 4 is what our guides love about our friendship.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And this comes through the Knight of Wands. Some words that describe us are adventurous, charming, rebellious, and free spirited.
Fuck
Um,
yeah, dude.
so they love that we can make decisions and take risks that pay off, even though sometimes we might be hot tempered or like feel like we're rushing into an action. So I feel
Hmm.
like because that's what the card represents. So I feel like what they love about our friendship is how we're that like that voice that's like, hey, like maybe you're overreacting.
I think they enjoy our controlled chaos.
Yes. I think controlled might represent you. Mine's not controlled. I'm just chaos.
Well, but like between us two, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
individually, there's nothing controlled in our lives at all.
Right.
But with you and I, there's somewhat of a controlled, chaotic type of vibe going on.
We kind of balance ourselves out in that regard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So card 5 is something nice we can do for each other. And this comes through the King of Pentacles. And
Wait,
something what?
reversed. Why is this the only card that's reversed?
It's not or oh it is. I was looking at card 6. I was like, oh. So something nice we can do for each other is to stay positive and understand that this is just a phase. Part of what's going to be happening right now is that we're learning from our past mistakes in order to move into a brighter future. So I feel like that was unnecessary because we already planned on doing that.
Yeah, something nice we can do for each other is to continue being supportive of one another, understanding. You were very understanding with my busy day yesterday, you know what I mean? Just being open-minded with one another and
Hmm.
accepting like each other. So, yeah, we're already like that, but
It's just a
the
reminder to like
cards are
doing
establishing like that's something really
it.
nice. You guys should continue to do that.
So, talking about guides, card 6 represents the advice that our guides have on how we can continue to support each other. And this comes through the Eight of Wands. Exciting times are ahead and we're seeing results, but we need to remember to stay grounded and not move too fast or rush into things in order to keep our momentum going positively instead of negatively.
Right. To just take that extra moment to think about your next move or whatever you're gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And to remind the other to like not like rush into things and stuff
oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And to
yeah,
be that
yes.
like yeah, be that
Even
reminder for
us
the
as a
other.
team, like we come up with ideas all the time for the podcast and for other
Hmm.
things, and it we so quickly come up with them, but we don't act on them right away. So I
Yeah.
think it's something that we need to kind of slow our roll, maybe not say all of our thoughts out loud. Not to each other, but
Focus
like
on
to
one thing at a
everyone.
time and then move to the next
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Okay, we didn't get called out that bad. That was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Like I said, the cards were so nice to us, like when we're not to each other.
I know.
That's funny.
At least the cards like us.
Right. Anyways, so thank you for joining us this week, Ghosties. We hope you had much. Blah, 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 blah. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If so, make sure to give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want a tarot card reading, please DM us and we'll choose one lucky person a week. Well, I guess when we come back, but I forgot that we, for like a
We
moment,
can
I
still do
forgot that the
tarot card
season.
readings on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, guys. So please
Yeah.
don't hesitate if you want a tarot card reading. We'll find a way to do it for you.
So we are your hosts. I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Veronica.
Have a spooky weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.